Glad tidings, rapscallions, it's me, Mucky Mitts, and I'm just checking in with you once again because what we are doing on this channel is trying to get into your head that it's okay to suck and start again. So regardless of where you are in life and what age you are, if you are not happy with what you do, because I feel like this is what the issue is. Everybody asks you what you do for a living. Everybody asks if you're married, have you got kids, have you got this, that and the other. But does anybody ever ask you, are you happy? And I want to know, are you happy? Because I think as well, as 27 years in the hairdressing profession and being a serial chancer that I actually am, and you know, I've tried a lot of things in life. I went from being a unisex hairdresser to working on a building site. I'd never worked on a building site before. I'd never used a power tool in my life. The closest thing I'd used to a drill was a hairdryer. And the guys who I worked with were like laughing in the sleeves at the fact that I was sort of moving from being in a nice, warm, cozy, clean, nice smelling environment to being on a filthy, dirty, cold, wet building site. But I had it in my head, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to become a landscape gardener. And after a year, okay, I wasn't perfect, but I knew a lot more about building things than I ever would have known. And this actually was probably the biggest turning point in my life, because at this point I'd been an absolute party animal. There was all sorts of like different white powders and pills involved in my life, and I pretty much struggled to nail down more than 1 day or 2 days not being drunk. So working on a building site actually gave me a massive kick up the bum, because I had to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I had to be on site for 7, and I was absolutely shattered by the time I got home. So I actually had, I was so tired that like I'd open a beer when I got home and I'd fall asleep. And after about a week or 2 weeks, I just found it was pointless. But after nearly a year, I was cycling to site, which was like a night, like I was working on my sort of boss's house at the time, and it was like a 9-mile ride either way. And then after 8 hours working on a building site, I'd go to the gym for an hour and then cycle home. So what I'm trying to say is sometimes making a massive change in your life can really change your mindset, and that is what we are doing here on the Mucky Mitts channel. It's okay to suck and start again. Toodle pip. See you soon. Bye.